Revelation is a liturgy. Toward the beginning of the book, John is called up into heaven. There's a kind of sursum corda moment, lift up your hearts, and John is whisked up into heaven by the power of the Spirit, and he joins in the heavenly liturgy. Then the Lamb receives a book, and the Lamb opens the seals on the book so that the book can be opened. And angels trumpet out and prepare for the hearing of the book. John eats the book, and then he discloses the contents of the book once he's ingested it. That's what happens every week in our worship services. We're caught up into heavenly places. Jesus opens the book. The pastor who has ingested the passage, who has ingested the book, who has eaten the book through the course of the week, now speaks it to us. And in chapter 14 through 16, we begin the sacrament part of Revelation, leading up eventually to the invitation to the marriage supper of the Lamb. But the sacrament portion of Revelation begins with the harvest of the martyrs, the bread and the wine, the grain and the grapes. The martyrs, as the grapes of God, are put into the winepress, and they're pressed out, and their blood is shed. It's blood of joy, it's the blood of wine, but it's also the blood of wrath. It's the martyr blood that's now going to be poured out and sprinkled out 7 times from 7 bowls onto the earth. That's what Revelation 16 is showing us in a kind of great day of atonement, a 7-fold sprinkling of the earth. There's a sprinkling of the earth, there's a sprinkling of the sea, there's a sprinkling of the sun, eventually there's a sprinkling of the air. And when blood is sprinkled on the air, then everything begins to fall apart. There's an earthquake, there's lightning, there's thunder, there's a hailstorm with hailstones such as never been seen. What's happening in that moment is the whole world is being torn down. The thunder and lightning are associated with the throne of God that John sees in heaven. But now that throne, God's throne, is breaking through the icy firmament, shattering it into a hailstorm as the throne of God comes to earth. That happens because of the martyrs, and the kingdoms of this world become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his Christ, because martyrs have shed their blood in union with Jesus Christ, and the throne of God has come to the earth. Whenever martyrs shed their blood on the earth, a world is shaken down, and a new world emerges. That's the power of martyrdom. That's the power of bold witness.